I walked into my husband's office holding his favorite lunch, and found my sister sitting on his lap. The bag with his turkey sandwich, avocado, and chipotle dressing hung from my fingers. I had also brought potato salad and 2 slices of chocolate cake from the bakery where we ordered our wedding cake. It was our 5th anniversary, and I had wanted to surprise him in his office on the 14th floor, inside a sleek tower on Paseo de la Reforma. Javier was in his leather chair, his tie loose, his smile wide. Amanda had one arm wrapped around his neck, her face just inches from his. They were not kissing when I opened the door, but they did not need to be. There was a dirty comfort in their bodies, the confidence of people who already knew their sin by heart. For 2 seconds, nobody breathed. Amanda jumped off his lap and smoothed her skirt with clumsy hands. My little sister. The girl I had raised after our parents died in that accident on the Mexico-Puebla highway. I was 22. She was 18. I dropped out of my master's program, worked double shifts, paid the mortgage on the family home, and made sure she finished college without carrying the fear I had been forced to carry. And now she was there, in my husband's office. Mariana, Javier said, his voice louder than normal. This is not what it looks like. What a poor sentence for such a massive betrayal. Amanda started crying before I said a single word. Mari, please. Let me explain. I looked at her. I did not see the teenager who used to fall asleep hugging me whenever she missed our mother. I saw a grown woman with perfect makeup and lips stained by the same wine I had bought for our anniversary dinner. I saw her expensive purse on Javier's couch. I saw 2 coffee cups. I saw one of her scarves folded in the corner, as if that place belonged to her too. The strangest part was my reaction. I did not scream. I did not throw the food. I did not pull her hair or slap Javier across the face, even though he deserved it. I only felt an icy calm slide through my body, as if my soul had stepped aside and let a smarter woman take control. I smiled. It was not a pretty smile. Javier turned even paler when he saw it. I placed the bag of food on his desk. Happy anniversary. Then I turned around and left. Behind me, I heard their voices. Mariana, wait. Sis, please. I did not wait. I walked down the hallway with my back straight, nodded at an intern who stared at me in confusion, handed my visitor badge to reception, and rode the elevator down without shedding a tear. In the parking garage, once I was inside a me car, the pain hit me so hard I had to pen the door just to breathe. I threw up beside the front tire. Then I cried. I cried for my marriage. For my sister. For every night Javier came home late, saying he was preparing the most important case of his career. For every time Amanda came to my house to help me while he was working. For every dinner where the 3 of us lolled like family, while they looked at each other with a story I did not understand. That night, Javier came home with dark circles under his eyes and a broken voice. I need to explain. It was a mistake. I was sitting in the kitchen with cold coffee and dry eyes. How long? He looked down. 8 months. 8 months. Christmas. My birthday, Sunday dinners. The nights when we were trying to have a baby. All of it was contaminated. Go to the guest room, I said. I cannot talk anymore tonight. He thought that was an open door. He thought my calm was weakness. He thought therapy, tears, and promises could keep me in place while he decided when to leave me for Amanda. I let him believe it. The next morning, while he thanked me for giving him a chance, I already had an appointment with a private investigator. Because Javier and Amanda had just made the biggest mistake of their lives. They confused my silence with forgiveness. For 3 weeks, I played the role of the wounded wife who was still willing to listen. I let Javier sleep in the guest room. I allowed him to make me coffee, even though I never drank it. I told him I needed time to process everything. He breathed with relief, as if my pain were just a meeting he could reschedule. I will do whatever it takes to win back your trust, he told me one night. Then start by never lying to me again. He kissed my hand. It almost made me sick. While he believed I was confused, I was working. I hired Ernesto Salgado, a private investigator recommended by a divorced colleague. His office smelled like old tobacco and case files. I need to know everything, I told him, dates, hotels, messages, money, everything. Ernesto did not ask useless questions. He only nodded. If there is something to find, we will find it. And he found it. The affair had not lasted 8 months. It had been going on for more than a year. Hotels in Santa Fe. Dinners at restaurants in Polanco. Trips disguised as hearings, but that was not the worst part. Javier had been diverting money from the firm to pay for gifts, flights, and even Amanda's apartment. Money labeled as case expenses. This is no longer just adultery, Ernesto told me. This could destroy his career. Amanda asked to meet me at a coffee shop in Roma. She arrived crying, with swollen eyes and a guilt that lasted exactly until she thought she could manipulate me. I never meant to fall in love with him. I stored that sentence away like a knife. Do you love him? She looked down. It hot I did. Does he love you? She took too long tone swore. He says he loves you, but that thing's got out of control with me. She was lying. Or worse, Javier was lying to both of us. That night, I read the messages Ernesto had pulled from a secret app. Javier had written to Amanda, Mariana seems to be giving in. I just need to hold on until the gala. Once they announce my partnership, I will have more power to move. Amanda had replied, I am tired of waiting. You said that after you became partner, we could live together. There it was. The plan. Use me until his promotion was secured. Then leave me. So I made plans too. I opened new accounts. I copied documents. I stored my mother's jewelry in a storage unit under my maiden name. I met with Diana Chen, a divorce attorney famous for never flinching. I want to wait until the firm's gala, it told her. That is where they will announce Javier as partner. Diana smiled faintly. You want him to fall from the highest point. I want everyone to see who he is before they applaud him. 2 days before the gala, Ernesto obtained the final proof, a recording of Javier laughing with Amanda in a hotel in Toluca, admitting that he had used the firm's money to pay for their trip. On the night of the gala, I wore an elegant black dress. Javier looked at me as if he had won his prize back. You look beautiful. Does this mean we are doing better? I straightened his tie. It means tonight will be unforgettable. In the hotel ballroom, when they announced his name as the newest partner, everyone applauded. Javier walked onto the stage, proud and glowing. Thank you to my wife, Mariana, he said. Without her support, I would not be here. I raised my glass and smiled. Then I walked toward the managing partner with a folder in my hand. Mr. Winters, before you celebrate, you need to see this. Gerardo Winters opened the folder in Approbate room beside the banquet area. First, he saw the bank statements. Then the transfers. Then the photos of Javier entering hotels with Amanda, all paid for as client expenses. Finally, he listened to the recording. His face moved from confusion to horror. Mariana, this is extremely serious. I know. There is firm money involved. That is why I came to you first. Divorce is personal. This belongs to the firm. Gerardo removed his glasses and sank into a chair. Does Javier know you have this? No, and Amanda? Right now, she is receiving a package with copies. I also included the messages where Javier tells a colleague she is fun, but not wife material. I did not say it with pleasure. I said it with precision. Amanda needed to know she had not destroyed her sister for love, but for Amon, who had been using her too. Gerardo called the other partners. In less than 15 minutes, 3 serious men were reviewing the documents with closed faces. Outside, the laughter continued, along with the music and clinking glasses. Javier was still accepting congratulations, believing he was untouchable. When I left the private room, he came toward me. Where were you? The Hendersons were asking about you. Taking care of unfinished business. Gerardo appeared behind me. Javier, we need to talk. Now. Now? But we are in the middle of the celebration. Now, the senior partner repeated. Javier looked at me, confused. It is probably partnership paperwork. I will not be long. Take your time, I said. It did not take long. When he came out, his face was gray. He was no longer wearing the partner pin in his lapel. He walked like a man who had just seen his own grave opened. Gerardo spoke behind him. You will turn in your access card tonight. Security will escort you tomorrow to collect your belongings. The partnership offer is withdrawn while we investigate the diversion of funds. A few guests heard it. Then others did. The whispers began spreading like fire through dry grass. Javier finally looked at me with complete understanding. You did this. No. You did this. I only delivered the evidence. I left the hotel without running. Outside, a car I had already ordered was waiting for me. As I closed the door, I heard Javier shouting my name from the entrance. I did not turn around. The next day was an earthquake. The firm suspended him. Then they fired him. The investigation found more irregular transactions than even I had known about. Javier tried calling me 46 times. I blocked him. He showed up at the house, but I had already changed the locks and activated security. The police escorted him away when he started yelling on the sidewalk. You ruined me over an affair. I looked at him from the window. An affair does not last a year, steal money, and make plans over the body of a wife. Amanda fell too. The package she received destroyed her. First, she texted me asking for forgiveness. Then she insulted Javier, then she begged to see me. You are my sister, her last message said. You cannot erase me. I did not respond. I had been her mother, her sister, her support, and her home. She chose to sit on the lap of the man who slept beside me. Her company fired her when it became known that she had been involved with a married lawyer who diverted funds. Our friends kept their distance. I did not have to ask anyone to choose, the truth chose for them. The divorce was quick. Javier did not want to risk a public trial with the documents I had. I kept the house, my investments, and a strong settlement. He left with his clothes, his car, and and reputation. His parents came to see me. His mother cried in my living room. I raised him better than this. I hugged her. Some betrayals leave widows even when nobody dies. 6 months later, Lisa, Javier's former secretary, came to my office. I thought you deserved to know. Amanda went looking for him in Monterrey and found him with another woman. She caused a scene in a restaurant. It is over between them. For the first time in months, I truly laughed. Not with cruelty. With relief. The two of them had set my life on fire to keep themselves warm, and in the end, they burned themselves. I sold the house a year later. Not because I was running away, but because I no longer wanted to live among ghosts. I bought an apartment with a terrace in Condesa, near my work and near cafe shops where nobody knew me as Javier's wife. I started using my maiden name again, Mariana Torres. I also left my corporate position and opened my own marketing consultancy. I was afraid, of course. But after surviving my husband and my sister, a business plan did not seem so terrifying. I went to therapy. I learned not to turn my anger into poison. I learned that the calm that saved me at the beginning was not coldness. It was instinct. If I had screamed in that office, they would have built a lie together. Because I stayed quiet, I let them believe they still controlled the story. One day, while unpacking books in my new apartment, I found a photo of Amanda at 18, hugging me on the day I dropped her off at college. I cried. Not for who she was now, but for the girl I had cared for and the sister I thought I would have for life. Then I placed the photo in a box. Not everything has to be thrown away. Some things are buried with respect. I met Nathan at a charity dinner months later. He did not save me. He did not arrive to fill empty spaces. He simply listened without asking me to share more than I wanted. When I told him the truth, he did not pity me. What you did was not revenge, he said, it was taking your life back with strategy. Maybe he was right. Today, whenever someone asks me how I stayed calm after seeing my husband with me sister, I always think the same thing. I was not calm. I was broken. But even broken, I understood that my dignity was worth more than a scene. Javier lost his brilliant career. Amanda lost the family I had built for her. I lost a marriage and a sister, yes, but I gained something no one had ever taught me to defend, myself. And that was the most perfect revenge. Not watching them fall. Rising without them.